So I guess first question's always the easiest. Can you tell us your first and last name, how you spell it, and then your title for us?
Of course. Mr. Stephen, S-T-E-P-H-E-N, Michael Fitch, F-I-T-C-H. I am currently the elected spokesperson on this subject, on this matter for the Greene County Republican Committee.
Amazing. So obviously we read the release that you guys had sent out about the displeasure about the Ruckersville Volunteer Fire Company being temporarily shut down. Kind of walk me through all the emotions that have been going through the committee's feelings right now.
I think displeasure is a kind way of saying it. More accurately, I think infuriating. The conduct of our board lately for other infrastructure concerns and their conduct with many closed-door sessions and what honestly we cannot rule out possible hidden agendas. The transparency alone has always been a bit concerning for us. When the Board of Supervisors decided to shut down this fire company and perform no contingency plan, including remanning the station, we became too compelled that we need to act for the better part of our community at large. I would say that we are very conservative in our conduct and our actions. However, that this matter and its impact on public safety is a bridge too far for us to no longer be silent.
I think you mentioned that this is not necessarily a Republican committee issue, but that you've also reached out to the Democratic committee in Greene County, and they're in agreement with you?
We are in the process of reaching out to the Democratic committee. I have had the opportunity through some of my neighbors who are members of that party, speaking one-on-one with them, at least for initial feedback and their thoughts about this. And I've also been told that, as they told me, they were unaware of this place being shut down, considering how secretive it was performed. I'm not trying to accuse anyone of criminal conduct, but definitely outside of what is appropriate in this manner. I believe I can say in confidence that they are equally appalled, they hold equal concern, and they're resolute, may be coordinated with us, which we will welcome that.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of piggybacking off of that, it's not really about politics here.
No.
Kind of talk to me about that. I know that you guys are a Republican committee, but it's more than that.
We understand. We are a Republican committee. We are a political party. We do have certain values and ethos that we hold true to ourselves, and we understand they're not always full in conflict with others. However, this is one matter that I believe goes beyond all political parties. I believe we all share this common value. In the United States, it's one of the things we do as a first world country is to have such pleasures as this asset behind me at the ready. To have been in myself in my past career in the military and going to places that are third world countries, people die because such assets like this are non-existent. We as the Greene community at large are very proud of our community, its beauty, its cultural, its the people who they are. We pride ourselves on that. We pride that anyone visiting our beautiful community has the opportunity to enjoy themselves the same. Knowing that our duty and responsibility in the public area of providing emergency service like this for their visit, as well as our citizens, is still utmost number one. This apparatus behind me, what is known as a pumper fire truck, the initial response should right now be manned, and it's not.
So if you're saying that, you had mentioned earlier that that if members of Standardsville or members of Dyke or any other company for that matter, if the county came in with them and said they're willing to stay here and run calls from here, that Ruckersville leadership has agreed to that?
Yes, and not to get too far off track, but I want to, as a citizen of Ruckersville, I want to extend my deepest appreciation to the leadership and to the members of this fire company. I believe that there are shortcomings, but their character and the ethos within are admirable. The leadership has told me directly that they will turn this equipment, all of the equipment, over to any approved responding personnel to maintain this post in active status due to its immediate location to Route 33 and 29, and the fact that we have our largest population here, including those who live in modular or mobile homing that are very susceptible to going up in flames rapidly. We have hazmat, we have many travelers who come through our community. This vehicle behind me is that first sign of hope that comes on scene. We cannot rely on a vehicle that's posted 15 to 20 minutes away in addition.
In past reporting, I understand that some of the issues that the Board of Supervisors may have had in deciding to temporarily close, and in fact the Board of Supervisors did not technically temporarily close the station. As I understand it, they asked the sheriff, who's responsible for county dispatch, not to tone out the company anymore, and it was his decision for that to happen. Were you aware of that?
I am aware of that in general, considering my interaction with our sheriff and his personnel and his departments. He is in charge of our dispatch. I am going to state that I am a bit offended because I believe that is a ploy to pass blame on to him. The sheriff, unfortunately, is bound by duty that is given by the Board of Supervisors. Of course, he is human as I and you and can make some errors and judgments. But I believe that his good judgment was kind of, in a way, tainted by pressure from the board. Regardless, the board has the ultimate solemn obligation as the final quality assurance, quality control on all county matters. This lies at their responsibility and at their feet, not the sheriff. I will stand on that. And the Republican Committee also will stand on that.
Absolutely. And last night, the board had put out a statement regarding the situation. Kind of walk me through your thoughts on that, your feelings. I know you kind of mentioned how it kind of worked you up.
Our intent with the delivery of our correspondence and our verbal summary of it, I know that it has been kind of construed throughout the community as wondering what our motives are. We did give a very stern warning at the end. It was not meant to invoke a political gain on our part. It was not meant to evoke any kind of such personal gain on our part. We wanted to send a clear, strong message to the board that a large population of their constituents are fed up and displeased with their conduct. This decision fits within our MO of other poor decisions, except this right here has a direct impact on public safety immediately. We demanded that this, especially this apparatus behind me, be so remanned and put back into standby status immediately, which we are echoing again to you, Mr. Chairman Contiano. Do so by end of this day. We made the ultimatum that we will pursue everything under the law afforded to us by the Commonwealth, including recall elections on all we deem must be replaced on this board to rectify, to ensure such a public crisis has not occurred again.
Some of the allegations, and I stress the word allegations, that the supervisors have publicly stated in their first letter included one Ruckersville member who has been charged with reckless driving of a fire truck, while responding to a call. Another incident involved allegedly involved another Ruckersville volunteer fireman on a hazardous material call up on Lydia Mountain, where it's our understanding that once the state hazmat people came on board, he tried to assert authority over the scene instead of the state officials who obviously have that right. Your comments on those type of issues?
Absolutely. It is known throughout many professional organizations, including the U.S. Army and throughout our military, of mishaps, missteps being made at every level. We are all fail and fallible. It is the courage within to review ourselves and improve upon is what defines us and our fine itself. The fact that those happen does not give reason to dismantle this immediate fire capability. Those members could have been suspended or removed and replaced with other qualified members. The committee could have also reached out to the public in general. We have several people here, retirees, former firefighters, former other occupation and skills with CDLs, hazmat, and EVOC training that could rapidly step in as a Band-Aid effect to assist in manning this equipment, to maintaining this capability in this location. We witnessed no such conduct of the board to try to make this happen. Instead, we saw what appears to be a very incompetent, maybe lazy, not sure what else, just to brush it aside and we'll just have others from far away respond. Those members have a right to due process. We will not comment on that. As equally as I also point out, the sheriff has a duty with his oath of office. We will not interfere with that. The Board of Supervisors cannot use that as a means to do a very inappropriate action as they did here. Again, I am not trying to say I'm positive on it, but personally, I believe we are looking at that as a means to pass blame on a sheriff who has no control over this board, none whatsoever, and should not be put into this light.
I have no other questions to add. Is there anything else you'd like to add that maybe we didn't get to touch on?
Of course. So behind me is the pumper that I spoke about. Beyond that are two other vehicles. This fire station not only serves as the primary for the Ruckersville area, but it's also backup support for Orange, Madison, and Albemarle, and Rockingham. This is the mutual aid part that we have without our Commonwealth. The action of the board by shutting us down, this asset, has not only placed Greene citizens in a danger not necessary, but has also turned around and placed citizens of our sister neighboring communities as well. We are in a heavy wooded area. Fire assets are a precious resource. We cannot afford to have one shut down. May I recall Los Angeles and the fires that happened out there. Mismanagement is something that us as citizens in general cannot put up with for our community, our loved ones, and all who come to visit us. This is not what Greene stands for. People of Greene are much better than this, and I believe that the Republican committee is solid in supporting them and standing for them with this committee in hopes that we will achieve a resolve on this, our reservoir, and all other issues in a logical and most appropriate manner.